I want to turn our attention to the Middle East, and Iran has again rejected calls to refrain from retaliation for that killing of a Hamas leader in Tehran last month. Now, Iran blames Israel, but so far Israel has neither confirmed nor denied its actual involvement. We are joined on this Friday night by the Director of Strategic Analysis Australia, Michael Shoebridge. We seem to be sitting here, Michael, day after day after day with someone suggesting, oh, well, Iran might attack this week. It's not yet happened. What do you think's behind that?
Well, Steve, I think the Iranians are trying to find a Goldilocks solution. They can't do nothing because it was shockingly embarrassing to them to have the Hamas leader Haniyeh killed right in the middle of Tehran under Republican Guard protection. So the Iranian regime needs to do something. But if they do anything that's too aggressive and big, they could well end up with an all-out war with Israel on their hands. And Ayatollah Khamenei doesn't want that. He wants Gazans, Hamas, Lebanese, Hezbollah and the Houthis all fighting and dying. He doesn't want an unpopular war involving Iran directly.
So he's happy to fund these terror groups. He's happy for them to be attacked by Israel and for them to attack Israel. It doesn't involve the death of Iranians directly. And I guess it does not threaten the leadership in Iran with an American carrier group sitting off the coast.
No, and he's also running a regime that is deeply unpopular at home. And the Iranian population does not want Iran involved in a war against Israel. But his proxies are pretty hard to control. And now that Yahya Sinwar is the Hamas leader, Sinwar committed those atrocities on the 7th of October to start an all-out war. And that's still what he wants.
So Israel famously, of course, has the Iron Dome. We saw that several months ago, that burst of action where the Iranians fired off a whole bunch of rockets into Israel. Most of them didn't get anywhere. Most of them were drones. If they were to ramp up the level of attack on Israel, what might it be?
Well, I think what analysts have looked at is, what if there's a larger number of missiles and drones? There was a couple of hundred back in April, and they were unsuccessful, as you mentioned. But what if they also launch against a wider range of Israeli targets from a wider range of launch areas, including Hezbollah's launch areas in Lebanon? But the problem with that is, what if Iran causes more devastation than they want to, and that provokes an all-out war? That's why I'm calling it a Goldilocks strike. It's got to do just enough to damage Israel, not enough to provoke an all-out war. And I think that's almost an impossible balance for the Iranians to strike.
Let's just talk about Ukraine for a moment. I mean, obviously the Ukrainians have gone across into Russian territory. Vladimir Putin's not going to like that. The Russian territory, of course, is now being attacked by Ukraine. Western leaders are probably a bit surprised by that. How much of an embarrassment is this for Putin, and what's likely to happen there next, Michael?
It's chronically embarrassing. It's not kind of Prigozhin mutiny level embarrassing, but it really puts the lie to Putin, telling his people he's got everything under control. This isn't even a war with Ukraine, it's some special military operation, because now the war has come to Russians. Tens of thousands of Russian civilians have either been captured by the Ukrainians and being looked after quite well, the civilians, or they've fled from the Ukrainian advance. That is something the Russian population can't help but knowing. And so Putin is looking like he's not in control. And the big thing now is, how much does he weaken the Russian forces in Ukraine to protect what's now a vulnerable Russian border?
Yeah, it's a very, very dangerous time for the world, I know. Thank you very much for your time tonight, Michael. Michael Shoebridge there assessing that for us, and who knows where we're going to go.